Yo, what is going on, everybody? I'm Midi80, and this is Platinums from the Past, where we dig up those old games, clean up those unearned achievements, and earn that juicy platinum trophy. On today's episode, we have none other than a game that sparked a revolutionary style of games, Dark Souls. This is a game that was developed by From Software and released in September of 2011. This game takes a minimum of 3 playthroughs in order to get the Platinum Trophy and is rated an 8 out of 10 on PlayStation profiles, and on PlayStationTrophies.org is a 7.5 out of 10. This is considered one of the staples in the Souls game category. It throws you in without much direction on where to go or what to do, and expects you to explore and figure out where to go and what to do. There is no difficulty option in this game, and it really challenges your patience, perseverance, and ability to learn and adapt. Just a quick side note here, this isn't going to be one of those video walkthroughs that walks you through exactly how to get every single trophy and materials and things like that. This is more or less going to be just the trophies that we needed to get the platinum, and kind of just a quick synopsis of what we did to get it. There's a lot of really good video walkthroughs and guides online that I would highly recommend going and checking out, because they go a lot more in depth onto what you actually need to do versus what we're showcasing here. But with that being said, we all know how this goes. Let's head over to that trophy list, see what we're missing, and what it is going to take to get this platinum trophy once and for all. All right, everybody, looking at the trophy list here, we can see that we achieved the first trophy on November 11th of 2011, making this an almost 14-year-old platinum trophy in the making. We only earned 3 trophies over our first couple of attempts in this game, and then rage quitted it into oblivion. There are a total of 41 trophies here, and we need to get 38 of them in order to earn that platinum trophy. Let's not waste too much time, as we have a lot of grinding to do, and head on in and start earning some of those missing trophies. Here we go. The first set of trophies we're going to talk about here all have to do with story-based actions. After finishing the tutorial area, you find yourself in Lordran with not a lot of direction. There's a guy sitting by the bonfire who tells you need to ring 2 bells. First thing you want to do from there is head over to the Undead Burg and up through the church. You're going to find yourself in a fight with a gargoyle boss who eventually gets another one to fly in and help him. Side note, make sure to cut off the tail of the first one during the fight before beating him to get a weapon and help you with a trophy later on. After you beat him, climb all the way to the top of the church and ring that first bell, earning you the Ring the Bell Undead Church trophy. Let's go! The next bell is all the way down in Blighttown. You need to make your way down a bunch of ladders and small platforms to find yourself at the bottom in poison-infested water, and then work your way to a giant spiderweb-filled lair where you will fight the next story boss. After beating the spider lady, Quelaag, you work your way to the back of the lair. Find the lever and pull it to ring the second bell. This will cause a cutscene to play and pop you Ring the Bell Quelaag's Domain. Let's go! We got a trophy! The next story trophy we chose to get was back in the Dark Root Garden. We bought the Crest of Artorias from the blacksmith named Andre for 20,000 souls, and then made our way to the back where there was a sealed door. We went through and opened the door and made our way through the forest. In the back of the forest there, we found a giant opening where when you walk through, there's a giant sword in the ground. We then got close enough and activated a cutscene where a giant wolf jumps on us, picks up the sword, and wants to fight. After a long, tough fight and slaying this giant puppy, we pop the Art of Abyss Walking. Oh, let's go. After ringing both bells, we find ourselves back at the Undead Burg, and the once sealed off Sen's Fortress is now open. We need to make our way through the area, working on our platforming and dodging and parrying as we traverse through this maze. We then need to fight a giant iron golem at the top of the fortress and defeat him. This boss can be cheesed, but we weren't able to do that in all of our playthroughs, unfortunately. After beating him, we head to the middle of the arena where we fought him, and we'll trigger another cutscene where we get grabbed and lifted and flown into a new beautiful castle/city area. Upon ending the cutscene and landing in Anor Londo, we popped the trophy, Reach Anor Londo. Let's go! While traversing through this maze of a city, we find ourselves once again facing off against a couple bosses, Ornstein and Smo. For me, and it being my first playthrough of the game, these two seemed to be top 3, if not number 1, toughest bosses in the game. After finally successfully beating them, we were able to head up some elevators that were blocked off before, and found a message on the floor stating that there was an amazing chest ahead. Excitedly, we ran through the door and got to talk to the owner of said amazing chest. We then received the Lord Vessel and popped the trophy Lord Vessel. Go!
And beseech succeed, Lord.
Let's go, yes! The next part of the game we're going to talk about is the Painted World in Anne Orlando. To access this, you need to go back to the Undead Asylum where you started the game by entering the bird's nest, having it fly you back. You then need to get back to your cell and pick up the Peculiar Doll. Then in Anne Orlando, where you fight all of the enemies on the rafters and the painted guards, you will see a giant painting that you want to go up and inspect. It will suck you into the painted world, and you will be stuck there until you progress all the way through it, either by defeating the boss or just jumping off the cliff in the area. We chose to defeat the boss, Priscilla, and again, this is a fight you want to make sure you cut off the tail for another rare weapon later on. After making our way through and defeating the boss, we popped Defeat Crossbreed Priscilla trophy. That's cool, but I didn't get the tail. Damn it. After receiving and placing the Lord Vessel, you will get a cutscene that shows 3 different areas going from red fog on the doors to a yellow one, and it now allows you to be able to traverse the fog. The first one we're going to talk about is connected to Anne Orlando. This is over to the left of the initial bonfire in Anne Orlando, and you're going to have to beat one of those giant statue to progress. You end up making your way to the Duke's Archives, where you run into the boss Seath. This is the first time fighting him. You will have to die. There's nothing you can do about that. And you wake up in a jail cell and need to break out and work your way all the way through the Crystal Cave area. When you get to the bottom, you end up fighting Seath. You need to destroy the staff or pillar that is making him invincible in the back. And this is another boss where you want to make sure you cut off the tail for another secret boss weapon. After beating him, you're going to go ahead and pop Defeat Seath the Scaleless. I didn't get his freaking tail. The next trophy we are going to talk about is related to probably the most annoying boss in the game, and that is the Bed of Chaos. This is a boss that only takes 3 hits to beat, but you literally need to travel from one corner of the boss room to the other corner of the boss room, and then back to the center to land on a vine, all as the floor is falling out from underneath you, and the boss is swinging a giant branch hands and shooting fire down at you, knocking you into those holes. It is all just hectic and annoying, but like I said earlier, it only takes 3 hits to win. The only nice part about this boss is that if you end up dying after hitting the first point or the second point, it saves your progress, almost like a checkpoint in the fight. You still have to run all the way back to the boss arena to fight him if you do die, but it keeps your progress and you don't have to re-hit any of the points again. This is the only boss fight in the game with that kind of save state mechanic in it, but after hitting and freeing both arms and then making your way to the center and hitting the little critter controlling the Bed of Chaos, you pop Defeat the Bed of Chaos. That was it? Let's go! This next trophy is one we got way too soon in the game. We ended up traversing through the catacombs way too early in our playthrough and ended up getting stuck in the Tomb of the Giants after only beating Quelaag the first time. The catacombs is a series of doors and platforms, somewhat of another maze where we ended up getting lost more than a couple times. In this area, the skeletons don't die unless you defeat the necromancer or you have a divine weapon, so we were running around like a chicken with our heads cut off, just trying to avoid everything and make it as far as we can. We found some platforms and worked our way to the bottom that way, just kind of falling and taking light fall damage as we went down. When we made it to the bottom, we found a white fog to traverse through and fight what is arguably probably the easiest boss in the game, Pinwheel. After defeating him first try, I don't even know if we took damage from this boss, we ended up popping the Rite of Kindling trophy. By the Rite of Kindling, you mean now kindle beyond the norm? I don't know what that means. Let's go! Yeah, first try, let's go! The next big boss fight we went for can only be accessed after placing the Lord Vessel, and that boss happens to be Grave Lord Nito. This boss can be found at the very bottom of the Tomb of Giants. He is a giant mass of skeletons that summon skeletons and then proceeds to kill those skeletons while doing his attacks. Quite reckless if you ask me. He wasn't too tough the first time that we fought him, and I believe we ended up beating him on the first try, though New Game Plus I felt like he gave us a problem or two. Again, not too tough, just close the gap, hit a couple times, and then dodge, roll away. That's kind of the strategy for a lot of these bosses, but after winning this fight, we popped Defeat Grave Lord Nito. Let's go. First try. The next trophy here is for collecting another Lord Soul from Gwendolyn in Anne Orlando. To reach this fortress area, you need to have a specific ring equipped and take the spinning platform all the way down. You get this ring from the catacombs in one of the side areas, and you need to have it equipped in order to find the boss ring. You're going to find a statue that disappears and a bonfire to rest at. Again, the statue only disappears when you equip said ring. When you enter the White Fog, you're going to be presented with a boss fight. The annoying thing about this fight is that she just runs away from you when you get close enough, and then just sits and fires magic projectiles at you from across the room. Easiest way to beat her is to run at her in a zigzag pattern and hide behind the pillars on the wall. When you do get close enough, get a few hits in on her and just repeat that process. After winning the fight, you pop the Dark Sun Gwendolyn trophy. Any second now. There it is. Let's go, dude. First try. This next fight can be kinda tough and is referred to by Souls experts as a DPS check. You make your way through New Londo ruins and need to drain all of the water. Then you need to equip a ring which you got from defeating Sif, the giant wolf enemy, and enter the tower through the White Fog. After making your way to the bottom of the tower, you see that there's a fall off, but with this ring you will be fine, just jump down. You're gonna fall deep down into the abyss and watch the boss spawn in the distance. As you are fighting one of the kings, another will spawn in the distance if you don't kill the first one fast enough, and he will join the fight. If you're doing enough damage to them though, you can take them out fast enough. You will only have to fight one at a time. After defeating one of the kings, you can still do a little damage to the boss while they're in their dying animation, so make sure to get a few free swings in while that is happening. Once you do enough damage, you will win the fight and pop Defeat the 4 Kings. Yo, let's go! These last two trophies are the last of the story ones that we are going to talk about. After lighting the Lord Vessel with all the Lord Souls, you progress through the final area and fight the final boss. This dude took me quite a few tries, and that is because I don't think I successfully parried more than 2 attacks throughout my entire first playthrough until this fight. So my timing was way off, and I didn't know what to look for when I was parrying. If you can parry, you can beat this final boss no problem. After about an hour of attempts, we finally beat the boss, and we were presented with 2 options. Either light the final bonfire or leave the room. For the first playthrough, we chose to light the bonfire, earning us the good ending and to link the fire trophy. During our second playthrough, we ended up leaving the final boss room after defeating him and getting the bad ending and popping the Dark Lord trophy. Woo! Yes! These next trophies are all going to be about the different covenants in the game. These are like cults that you join throughout the game that give you different buffs, spells, miracles, and even some weapons. These are all pretty easy to find and to get as long as you talk to the right people, have the right stats, and answer yes to their questions. Some of these have requirements to donate certain materials to unlock things which will be needed for later trophies, so we're going to mention which covenants need what materials for the unlocks here. The first one we're going to join by talking to Petrus at Firelink Shrine. When you get there, he will be a knight standing in the back in all silver armor, talking to him a few times and answer yes when he asks you to join, and you're gonna go ahead and pop the Covenant Way of the White trophy. Oh! Let's go! The next one here is another easy one to get that doesn't require any donations for any of the other trophies here. It is found in Anne Orlando after beating Ornstein and Smo and right after talking and receiving the Lord Vessel. If you keep talking to Guinevere, you will be prompted to join her Covenant, and when you say yes, you're gonna pop Covenant Princess's Guard. Let's go! Yes! For the next one here, we need to again be in Anor Londo. We also needed to have been to the catacombs and snagged the Dark Moon Seance ring from behind the broken wall and in one of the open tombs. After getting the ring, you need to go down to the moving platform in what I call the middle of Anor Londo and have it go all the way down. Equip the ring and the statue will vanish, and then you'll notice a white fog to traverse through. Do not enter the fog right now. This is also in the same area where we popped Defeat Dark Sun Gwendolyn. Instead, you want to bow down and pray in the square in front of the fog. Answer yes and you'll be able to join the covenant. Also, just a side tip, this is one of those covenants where you will want to farm and donate 10 souvenir of reprisals for a miracle trophy later on. You can farm those from the harpies in the painted world, just a heads up. After accepting the covenant, you pop Covenant Blade of the Dark Moon. Let's go! The next one here is probably one of the harder ones for me to get. The reason being is because you need to talk to a broken statue on the bridge where that fire-breathing dragon sits in the beginning of the game, where you first meet Solaire. You'll eventually see him there later in the game as well as part of his quest line. This covenant was hard for me to get because we needed 25 faith to join, and we only had like 10. You can lower this by helping people fight online bosses, but we didn't see a lot of opportunity on the PS3 version of the game, and to be fair, we didn't really look. So instead, we grinded our faith to 25, where we were able to talk to the statue and get the opportunity to join. We also need to donate 10 sunlight medals to get up to rank 1, and then need to donate the soul of the final boss to earn another miracle. So doing that will earn us 2 miracles for a trophy later on, just a heads up. But after joining the covenant, we're gonna pop Warrior of Sunlight trophy. We'll get this one right now. There it is. Let's go. We got a trophy. Let's go. The next one here can be found in the Darkroot Garden. After buying the Crest of Artorias and going behind the sealed door on your way to fight Sif. When you first enter, you're going to be attacked by a bunch of random NPCs, and you can take them out to gain a good chunk of souls if you'd like, but it's not necessary. If you make your way to the middle area, you're going to find a big cat just sitting on a wall. Talking to him once, he'll ask you if you want to join, and a simple yes will not only cause all those aggressive NPCs to never attack you again unless you attack them while you're in this covenant, but it will also pop Covenant Forest Hunter. Let's go. The next one here is pretty specific. You want to go ahead and make sure that you never talk to the Serpent Frampt at the Firelink Shrine. This will make it so that this covenant is locked out and unable to be joined. After you go ahead and clear the New Londo ruins and defeat the 4 kings, right next to the bonfire, another serpent will appear. His name is Kath, and you want to talk to him. He will offer you to join the covenant just from talking to him, and you just need to say yes. Frampt will then get mad at you and not talk to you after that, but in my opinion, it's totally fine and worth the trophy that you get from it. Saying yes is gonna pop you Covenant Darkwraith. Let's go, we got a trophy. The next one here is a well-hidden one for sure. You need to make your way from Blighttown all the way down to Ash Lake. You will see a branch or a root type of deal in Blighttown, and you need to go over to it and follow it through 2 imaginary walls, and then you will see yourself kind of at the top of a tree with a bunch of branches and roots. You need to work your way all the way down, and from there you're gonna find yourself on a beach. Follow the beach all the way around to the back corner, and you're gonna see a giant dragon there. Insider tip here, I recommend cutting off his tail to help get a trophy later on, because you will get a rare weapon from here. I promise he won't mind and won't come after you or kill you. Just cut the tail. Make sure you also talk to him as well, as he will ask you to join his covenant. Saying yes is gonna pop you Covenant Path of the Dragon. Enter the covenant, sure. Pretty sure that's a trophy. Let's go! The next one we are going to talk about is Gravelord Nito again. In order to get to his lair without placing the Lord Vessel, we need to head into the catacomb. As we're traversing down, we're going to run into a room with one of those demon enemies that shoots lightning. I can't think of their names right now. But if you run towards him and keep to the left, you will see a coffin that is sticking out of the wall and slightly open. You're able to hop in it and just rest. After about 30 seconds or so, you will be transported to where Nito resides. If you talk with him, he will ask you to join the Covenant. Of course you want to go ahead and say yes. He will then give you a rare weapon and also a trophy. This Covenant though, you do need to donate 10 Eyes of Death. You can find these randomly around the map. I want to say there's 6 total you can find, but you can also farm them from those weird bug-eyed frog creatures either down in the depths or on your way down to Ash Lake. After joining up with him though, you are going to go ahead and pop Covenant Gravelord Servant. What does this mean? Hey, let's go! The last one we're going to talk about here is for heading down and talking with Quaylag's sister after ringing the second bell. She is hidden behind a hidden wall and a servant. Side note here, if you do attack the servant, she will want nothing to do with you and won't let you join her covenant, and you got to go through a bunch of hoops and whistles in order to make that happen again, so I just advise not doing that. When he asks if you're there to worship her or whatever he says, just say yes to him. He will let you walk past her. Make sure to activate the bonfire there, as it is an important warp point later on. But if you do happen to say no to him, he will not let you pass, and then you have to go and get infected and stuff to have him let you in. It's not a hard thing to do, but it just takes some extra steps if you mess up. For this covenant here, I hope that you guys saved up a bunch of humanity. We will need to donate 30 humanity in order to acquire a pyromancy for a later trophy. So you'll have to use all your humanity to get up to 30 and then donate them. And because we're on the PS3 version, it was a donate and a use of one at a time to build it up. So it took quite a bit. After talking to her and joining her covenant, which she doesn't have much to say because we didn't have the right ring equipped, you will pop Covenant Chaos Servant Trophy. Let's go! The next trophies here all have to do with crafting each variant of weapon and getting it to the max level. There are certain materials that are guaranteed through each playthrough, such as different Titanite slabs needed to upgrade each weapon, and I would honestly recommend looking up a guide as to what is needed for each individual weapon and where to get all the embers and upgrades. I missed a couple things on my first playthrough because I wasn't using a guide and had to add it to the end of my third playthrough, making it way longer than it should have been. These trophies did take a second or two to pop after we maxed out the weapon, making us question whether we did it right every single time, but they did end up popping. The first weapon we upgraded to the max was the Claymore. Once we maxed that out to a plus 15, we ended up popping the strongest weapon trophy. Let's go, strongest weapon. For this next one, we upgraded the crystal weapon. We didn't have to upgrade a weapon to be crystal, as there is a mimic chest in Anor Londo that drops a crystal halberd. All you have to do then is just upgrade that to plus 5 without finding any of the embers or things to make a weapon crystal. Getting it to plus 5 will pop you the crystal weapon trophy. Nice, there it is. Similar to the crystal weapon, we did not have to go ahead and craft this next weapon. The lightning weapon, we were able to find an upgrade, which was a lightning spear that is dropped by a mimic chest in Sen's Fortress. We got this spear, we upgraded that to a plus 5, and that popped us the lightning weapon trophy. Let's go. For the next one here, we had to upgrade a weapon to max raw weapon. For this, we chose to just use a longsword. We upgraded it to a plus 5 and then turned it into a raw weapon. From there, we got it to raw longsword plus 5, and that popped us the raw weapon trophy. Let's go. The next one here took a little bit to get, as we did not get the required blue Titanite slab from the first playthrough, so we had to add it to the third. We needed to power up a weapon to plus 5 and then turn it to magic. We used a longsword for this one as well. After that, we just needed to get it to magic plus 10, and doing so earned us the magic weapon trophy. Let's go. The next one requires us to max out an enchanted weapon. Cool thing about this is that we find an enchanted falchion from a mimic chest in the Duke's archives. We just need to upgrade it to plus 5 enchanted, and that will pop us enchanted weapon. That should be it. Let's go. The next one we're gonna get here is for a divine weapon. For this, we chose to use a bandit's knife. Again, make it +5 and then turn it to divine. From there, we just gotta get it to +10, and that is gonna pop the divine weapon trophy. Let's go. The next one is similar to a couple of others in the sense that we don't have to upgrade a weapon and then turn it into. This weapon is a club, and it again happens to be found in Anne Orlando in a mimic chest like mentioned earlier. This is an occult club. We just need to take it and upgrade it to a +5, and it's gonna pop us the occult weapon trophy. Nice, there it is. For the next one here, we went ahead and used a bandit knife for. We just needed to upgrade this to a knife +5 and then change it to fire. From there, we just gotta make that fire knife +10, and it's gonna go ahead and pop us the fire weapon trophy. Think? Let's go. And the last weapon on this list here to max out, we again used a bandit knife. For this one though, we needed to upgrade it to a +5 and then turn it to a fire weapon. From there, we got to turn it into a fire +5 weapon and then turn it into a chaos weapon. And then from there, we need to turn it into a chaos weapon +5. And that will max it out, earning us the chaos weapon trophy. Let's go, another one. The last set of trophies here all have to do with collectibles, whether that be sorceries, pyromancies, or even weapons. I would highly suggest looking at a guide for where to find all these because they can be easily missed. I just copy pasted everything that PSM Profiles had onto a notepad and just deleted each line as I went, making it really easy to track, but that is just what worked for me, so just my recommendation to you guys there. The first one is actually for collecting all the pyromancies, which is all of your fire magic. We followed our list and collected the last few in Blight Town, which we missed initially, and that earned us Bond of a Pyromancer trophy. There it is, let's go! The next one is for collecting all the sorceries in the game. You get a lot of these from doing side quests for the NPCs and buying them from said NPCs with your souls. Again, using the same method listed above, just take the list and copy it into Notepad or something and just check them off or delete them as you go. After we collected the last one from Big Hat Logan, by the way, all of his side quests are really important into getting all those sorceries, so make sure you follow that to a T. But after getting that last one, we went and popped Wisdom of a Sage. Let's go! The next one here is for collecting all the miracles in the game. These are going to be things like your buffs and healing spells. These are mostly found through buying them from NPCs and stuff like that throughout the game. Same thing as above, make a list, check it twice, find out who's naughty and nice. You know how it goes. After grabbing that last miracle in the game and having one of each of them, we went and popped the Prayer of a Maiden. Let's go! And finally, then there were 2 trophies left. This last trophy is the main reason you need to play the game multiple times through. You need to hold all of the rare weapons in the game. This means you need to get all of the stuff from the Black Knight gear, craft all the boss weapons, collect all the other hidden things throughout the worlds, and that stuff. This one, again, and I can't stress this enough, you should definitely use a guide for. There's a good one on PSM Profiles that I used to make sure that I wasn't missing anything, and even showed stuff that I didn't even know was possible to do or get. The one that I did end up missing was with having an invader down in the Tomb of the Giants. I would have never found it if not for this guide. You need to be human and run to the area and then they will invade you. Leroy was his name, I believe, and you need to defeat him in order to get his sword and shield. So that was the last one that we collected, and after picking up the last of those items, we popped Knight's Honor and the difficult but sweet platinum trophy, the Dark Soul. Is it?
Yes!
Yes! Oh my god, we did it! Well, there we have it, guys. Another one in the books. I really thought I was going to struggle a lot more and not enjoy my experience with this game at all. When I first played this one a long time ago, I couldn't get past the gargoyles and the bell tower and literally just rage quit it out and never picked it up again. This game taught me to have patience and relax and just have fun playing the game. I really enjoyed my experience with the game and would encourage everyone to give it a try and push past that part you're stuck at. I'm actually kind of sad that this game is done, but really happy to add it to my virtual trophy case. Please feel free to leave a like and let me know what you guys thought on the video in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It really helps out. We just hit 200 subscribers and would love to keep growing the channel. Thank you again, everyone, and let's see who the winner is in this episode's marble race. And there we have it, folks. Borderlands 2. Just in time to get it done before Borderlands 4 comes out. Weird. Well, thanks again, everyone, for the support. Now get the heck out of here.